A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Leo Vijana Tubonge Talk Show tumeamua kufika huku Kajiado County kukutana na mgeni wetu wa leo ambaye amejituma na amejitolelea kusaidia na kubadilisha maisha ya vijana mtaani. Jina langu ni Khadija Mohamed Ali. Umekuaje?
Mimi nimekuwa poa sana and yeah, I thank God.
Karibu sana kwa hii show yetu ya Tubonge Vijana Talk Show. So leo tumeamua tukufuate, utuambie wewe ni nani, unafanya nini na ni nini imekuinspire ufanye kile unafanya sasa.
Wow, thank you. Mimi ni Susan.
Karibu.
Ovinya Wairimo. I am a young mom. My daughter is 4 years sahizi.
Wow.
Ako shule. And I am in school, Nikongong Technical. I am pursuing human resource. And I'm also a student at Amani Counseling Center, pursuing community development. So that is briefly about me. Nimetoka Ngong, Kajiado County. And I am a peer mentor, a young leader. Yeah.
Wow. Ni nini ilikufanya mpaka ukaanza what you've started and what you're doing?
Okay, so for me, the passion ya kuserve has always been in me since I was young. Yeah. In school, I was, you see those proactive people, very active, giving poems, shairis, doing presentations. And when I joined high school, that was in 2013. So Form 1, Form 2, tulikuwa tunaishi hapa hivi ghetto with my mom, a single mom. And at that time, nilikuwa nimepata my younger sister. So you know, kukaa ghetto, life is not that easy. Yeah, being that you're raised by a single mom. I remember when I was in school, I used to be that person mwenye watu wakienda home, lazima nikuwe hapo. And when I was in Form 4, you know, out of peer pressure, madam, story mnachapa shule. So everyone will talk about their boyfriends. When you mean kona chali, how you do this and this with my boyfriend. And I used to wonder, kwani mimi, am I really okay? So out of peer pressure, I went to my grandmother's place, upper race course, and then I met with this guy. Aka Form 4, mwenye ako timid, you just want to have a boyfriend, nini. And I fell into the trap. So in like 2 months, when I was in school, I didn't receive my periods. I was like, what's happening? So I thought, jishule tuko huko hivyo juu kwa mlima, maybe it's the weather.
Weather changes.
Yes, but after 3 months, I realized I was pregnant. And there's no one I could tell. Because at home, my mom will come and say, if you ever get pregnant, utaenda nayo kilometer. So I just decided, let me keep it. But you know, still I had thoughts. Should I abort? Should I? Because all thoughts come. Because you know, you're still young. At that time, I was 17 years. That was in 2016. But after 5 months, I went to my aunt's place. Nikamwambia, she told my mom. My mom was actually very angry because you know you expect.
Si rahisi.
Yeah. But she later told me it has happened. I will take you with that child. Wewe ndo malize shule. Because that time ilikuwa around 2nd term, 3rd term hapo. So I went back to school. But you can imagine being in school, kona ball. Yes, I'm trying to act strong because at least I have my mom's support. But everyone in school knows. So I used to pretend I am strong, tukiwa na watu, but nikienda kwa dorm, I start cursing myself, I feel guilty. But I just decided, let me be strong, nifanye mtihani and go home. So tukafanya mtihani, I did all my exams, but during the second last paper, my waters broke nikiwa shule. So waters zika break, and I had no option but to go to the maternity. I was rushed to hospital. Lucky enough, I delivered at night, na asubuhi nikamkia kufanya mtihani. So you can imagine that pain.
So what happened to your paper when you miss?
I didn't miss the paper because I did exam here that day.
Oh, that was after?
Yes, so in the afternoon, when we were revising now for the last paper, it was on a Thursday, and then the practicals, and then the last paper the other week.
Oh.
So no, what has a break? I went, delivered, but you can imagine I am still kayangal. At that time I was so small, still 17 with my pregnancy, but I was able to deliver. I thank God I delivered normally. no complications or nothing. And then I sat for my exams the following day. And that was it, I was done. Sasa nikuje home. So coming back home, you all expect nishapata mtoi, I now need to start hustling. Because I knew mimi na shule tumeshanwa. Yes, but I thank God because my former principal still believed in me. So she called after the results were out. Hiyo time nilikuwa nimepata D. Sisi ni wale watu wa Matiang'i. But you say that time I couldn't focus with studies. I am reading but my mind is not there. So she called and she told me results zimetoka, umepata mtoi, but I believe you can still do more. So kaniambia, I want you to think of redoing exams again. And I was like, what is wrong with this woman? How ni nishapata mtoto nimekuwa mama?
Ulikuwa usha give up?
Yes, nilikuwa nisha give up. But later on, I came and realized there's someone who still believes in me. And at that time, my mom had told me, ukishapata mtoi, whatever you choose to do after this, it's now up to you. So I went and told her, nataka kurudi nifanye mtihani tena. And she told me, I told you whatever you choose to do, it's up to you. So nikaenda shule tena. I registered for the exam. So I would go to school, then come back. But still I couldn't focus because uko class, ndo hiyo maziwa unataka kunyonyesha. It was really not easy. But I thank God because that time, at least my mind ilikuwa imefocus. I was not thinking of doing.
Ulikuwa ushaamua.
Yes. So I was able to sit for the exams again. That was in 2017. I always say I tried and I performed well because hii time nilikuwa nimepata D. And this time nimefanya mtihani nimepata nini? D+.
Oh, umeongeza.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
good.
I decided instead of redoing the exams again, let me enroll niende college, nifanye certificate 1 year, then go to my diploma, even niende niki advance. So in 2018 I enrolled. Nikaenda college to pursue social work because I knew nikifanya social work at least I'll be able to approach organizations, children's home to go and serve. But my dream was cut short during second semester because hiyo shule kulikuwa na issue ya quorum. So we had to be transferred to another college. And that time mind yangu nilikuwa nimeput I am supposed to finish school by end of this year. So I felt no, mimi na shule ni hivyo sasa. So I felt my dream of serving imeishia hapo. I now can't go back to school again. I now sasa nianze kufikiria venye nitaanza kuhustle. But in 2019 sasa tunaona hiyo ni from around August mpaka December tu niko hivyo home. I used to help my mom kwa kibanda yake, nafanya tu jobs tu hivi. But in 2019 I told myself, well, sina certificate ya college. I only have my KCSE certificate. I have the passion to serve. Let me do something. So I started tagging along with watu wakienda children's home, visiting schools. But again, I feel tukienda now, I am not having that satisfaction.
So hiyo wewe kuamua kuenda ilikuwa ni wewe mwenyewe uliamua unataka kuenda ama there was someone mwenye kwaga maybe anakuongelesha?
No one used to talk to me, but I used to see how people do things. So I admire just being there, talking to people, inspiring them. So nikasema acha tu nikuwe naenda na watu because I know people who are doing this. So akienda children's home, at least I go with them, we talk to the children. But I sikuwa na feel nikiwa satisfied. So in 2019 is when I decided I'll start sharing my story. Because I have my story, I have been able to overcome all that. And here I am strong. Because I used to talk to one person, namwambia what I have been through, and they're like, hey manze, you're strong. So I was like, so my story can change someone's life. So I started by just bringing girls together, hata day moja mwenye ame lose hope, we just talk.
How did you start doing it? Because I believe unaweza enda tu ushika tu msana mwambia uanze kuambia tu story yako tu, you expect pia kuambia. How was it?
So how it used to happen is dem anani approach akona mtoi. So I am curious to know mtoi unamlea uko aje, kama uko shule life iko aje shule. So when they start opening up, and now I also open up, so they feel so there's someone who understands what I am going through. So now at around, it was September, is when I decided I really need to do something. That was in 2019. I said, let me now do something that at least nitafeel nime bring more impact. So being that nililelewa hapa hivi Mathare, it was hard for me to access pads. And then also my first time experience here, pads, how stigmatized it is. When I decided I'll do a pad drive, I even didn't know how to go about it. I even didn't know what to kutoa pads wapi. I even didn't know how I'll stand in front of people and talk to them. But tu nikapata tu ile courage. So I shared with my colleague. At that time I was working up Ngong, and she was like, let us give it a tagline. Sema unatafuta wasichana wangapi, the location and everything. So I used to be referred to people who distribute pads huku, but well, they'll just turn you down. So nimeenda kuitisha advice, unapelekwa hivi. Yeah. I decided I'll just do this thing by my own. So I made a post on Facebook because I had been sharing my story on Facebook, the power of social media. So when I posted, the response was quite positive. And people were like, this is a noble activity, we will support. And people started bringing in their support pads. And to your surprise, it was the first event I had planned with no education, no connection, no nothing. Ni mimi tu ninapanga. I even didn't have a team of people that I could work with. So people wakiona ndo, they used to come in. Yeah, so we were able to do that pad drive, and now the first mentorship ilikuwa hapa hivi kwa this hall ile kuko imemaliziwa, and 80 girls came. 80 girls came. These were young mothers and teenage girls. So we were able to give them pads. Na ini pad iliwapeleka for 3 months. And we were even able to give them milk for the young moms, for the children. So for me, I felt it was something that touched lives. Because girls hawakuwa wanapata hiyo pads. Na unapata mademu wengi kuwa wanapata ball for different reasons. Mimi nilipata ball juu ya peer pressure. But kuna ule dem mwenye anakosa pad. Akikosa pad, anaenda kwa chali yake ama tu msee tu. Anamwambia kama nataka pad, wewe nipatie vitu. Na mimi nitakupatia nini? Nitakupatia hiyo tu ya pad. So I came in to fill that gap. And it has been life-changing.
So how did you do it? Like, did you have to chip in your pockets to buy pads and give the girls? Ama how did you do it?
No, what happened is I now depended on people, on friends. And most of them were friends from Facebook. Hawa wengine they were like, "Ai Suzy, unafanya hii kitu, uko na mtoi, hata ujaenda shule, madhe yako tu wako hapo hivyo mtaa. So tafuta tu kitu at least nakuletea pesa instead of," because people won't understand. Yes, but for me I said, yes, I don't have all this. And by that time, I was even not earning a ticket to return sustain. Because you see, still bado ninakaa kwa my mom. But I decided I'll change lives. Mimi, at least for me, my child is able to eat because niko home. My mom is able at least to provide. Why not take that advantage to at least be able to provide for another girl out here? So I used to get those kind of oppositions, but I decided I will keep supporting. Hata ile kidogo yenye ninapata, I will meet with girls na naambia sina pad. Let's say nilikuwa nimebaki na so, nitabuy pad nimpeleke. Because that gives me satisfaction.
Because hata wewe time huko na the someone who alikusimamia na akakusaidia, si ndio? No,
mimi sikupata mtu alikuwa ananisaidia.
Not even your mom or a friend?
Okay, my mom used to do that, but you see now, at having that person, that friend can go reach out to hakuna. So I decided, let me be that person. Because at least nili break that wall, because girls can easily approach me, we talk, and at times I'm not able to solve everything. So what I do is I refer them to someone whom I know at least ataweza kusort that problem.
Okay, so what has been the disadvantage yenye umekuwa ukipitia to starting this thing that you are doing? Na pia kwa how girls nini imekuwa challenge?
Okay, so one thing is, you see, I am young. I am now, I'll be turning 22 this year. And you see, I started when I was 19. So 19, 20, and people are like, aka kasichana, akana kitu ingine ya kufanya.
Nini namsumbua.
See, at least then atafute kazi afanya ale mtoto. But kumekuwa na ako stigmatization. People try to bring me down. But wanapata already nisha build a strong foundation such that I know what I want, I know what I am doing, and I am not working. You see, I just joined school. Hata shule nilijoin out of faith. Me, I told God, mi lazima nisome. I am going to school. My daughter is in school. I am a single mom, but mtoto wangu lazima asome na pia mi lazima nisome. So you see, kuna that, I don't have resources, but I still need to give. Because you're told you can't give out of an empty cup.
Yeah.
But for me, I decided I'll just give. Because I'm not giving because I have, it's out of the love. And for me, it's a ministry. So there has been that issue. At times dem anakuapproach aki sina food. Na hata mimi mwenyewe sina food.
Utafanya nini?
Nitafanya nini? So what I try to do is maybe bring in someone to at least provide, hata if it is for one day. At times pia dem hana job. Because you won't keep giving. You see? But if I was in a position to at least offer them skills, at least najua dem ametrainiwa hii course anaweza kujisustain. That is a success story. And also another thing, I think there has been this perception with people kwa community that if someone comes up being a change maker, the only intentions they're having at the back of their mind is political interest.
Oh yeah.
So everyone thinks, aka kadem from nowhere amekam tu ameanza kupeana pads, intention yake ni gani? You see, so at times you get that barrier because people are like, apana, udem anataka kufanya hii kitu, let us not allow her. Because at times I've been trying to do things, someone promises you this, you keep waiting, ikifika the actual day, there is nothing. So like unakuwa build hopes kwa people, it even becomes hard for you at times.
Na sometimes inapata umepromise hata mtu.
Exactly, but may I always believe in a God who provides. And I keep telling myself, even if I'm not able to provide now, a time will come when I will provide. And even if I change this one life, for me that gives me satisfaction. Yeah, and I also had an issue when I was starting up because haikukuwa a registered organization. So people didn't trust it. They're like, amo dem akona interest tu zake.
How did you come about it?
The registration.
No, like what made you nilifanya useme okay, I want to start this thing ikuwe ni something ndaka maybe like this Inspired Teenagers Foundation. How did you come about that name and kwanza kuorganize maybe social halls watu wakuje? How was it?
Okay, when I was starting, I used to call it House of Hope because I wanted to give hope. But as time went by, nikaona House of Hope iko just general, and I just want to deal with teenagers. These are teens who are in school, let's say from the age of 9 to 12 to 13 hapo hivyo, wenye wako shule, wenye wameanza period zao, the adolescent girls. And now the teenage moms, these are girls wenye walikuwa shule, wakapata ball, wame drop out. So I decided, let me focus on the teenagers.
Is it the young moms only?
No, we are looking at two groups of girls. We are having girls who are not yet pregnant, who are in school, who hawana information right about their sexual and reproductive health. How will I come in and teach them so that udem akiamua ni kwenda kupata ball ashakuwa amejua, na kuna udem mwingine mwenye already ashapata ball na akona mtoi, and we can't change that fact. So I am looking at the root cause. Mimi nilipata ball nikiwa shule. If I had someone who came in to talk to me when I was in school, singepata your ball. So for these young moms, we are trying to see how at least we can come up with an economic empowerment project enye wataweza kujisustain how na watoi na wenye waliacha shule waweze kurudi shule. And all for these teenagers who are in school, how can we educate them? How can we give them information? How can we ensure that dem amepata pad na hata miss shule ako shule?
How do you feel about this thing that you're doing? Unasikiaje? Ama ni nini ushaifanya yenye unasikia ni mimi nimefanya unasikia tu vizuri?
So for me, I think each mentorship session we always have, I always feel fulfilled because si kila mtu anaweza fanya what I do. Just waking up in the morning, meeting girls, talking to them, no one is paying you, you're not receiving anything from anyone. It's something that I always applaud myself. And I will keep doing this. I will keep serving because right now a lot of girls are looking up to me. Because unaona, if Suzy was able to go through this,
why not
na sahizi amefika hapa hivi, why not me? So I just want to be that inspiration and tell someone that you might not be having anything. Awezi kuwa umeenda shule. Me always tell people bado sijafika, I am still there, but kale ka step kadogo nimemove, why not uplift someone else so that we are able to move sisi wote pamoja. And if I change one life, I am sure that huyu atarudi mtaani a change life mwingine, huyu mwingine a change huyo mwingine. So for me that is how I feel, and I still feel nice, and I also want to mentor more people into this. Ndo you just tell me, I always tell young people, usikae hapo tu complain. Because for me at times people ask me, why are you just dealing with girls and not boys? I am like, so umeka umeona there's an issue with the boys, why are you not addressing it? For me nilikaa chini nikaona there's an issue with the girls. Girls wanakuwa pregnant, hawapati pads, no one is talking to them. I came in and filled that gap. So it's also a challenge to other people out here. If you see a problem, stop complaining, stop depending on our politicians. Like for me, most of my support is not from the politicians, it's from the people. And still our politicians, they're supposed to be involved because they're the policy makers. They're supposed to be addressing these issues. Like the women representative, the MPs, they should be able to ensure that girls shule wanapata pads, but they are not able to.
Asante sana Susan, umetuelezea, and I'm sure from kinyo umetuambia, I'm sure there's someone out there mwenye ata watch na at least itamguza mahali maybe, and ata feel maybe alikuwa ana go through what you've been going through, and through your story na what you've said itamchange life yake. Na karibu sana, hii imekuwa ni Tubonge Talk Show.
Thank you so much, and karibuni Kajiado, bring in more people to come and support and let us change life.